Welcome to Born for the Trades, a home service podcast, and I'm your host, Mandeep. Today, we have someone who is on a mission to make sure trades businesses never miss another opportunity. Shelby Anderson is the operations leader at ServiceForge on and this is an all-in-one platform built to help service businesses to get found, get booked, and get paid through 24/7 live answering and booking and payment solutions in a world where everyone is talking about automation, AI. Shelby is here to remind us why the human on the other end of the phone still makes the difference. So let's get into it and welcome to my show, Shelby.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, absolutely. I'm super excited. I know we talked about it, Service Force, like you guys are definitely crushing it in the market. And I'm pretty sure that all the listeners, like home service industry owners, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, you name it, they're excited to learn more about your product. Let's start with your journey, Shelby. How you get into trades, and then maybe we can talk about service force, like your story that you want to share with everyone here.
Yes, absolutely. So, a lot of people do ask, how did you find yourself as an operation leader of ServiceForge, like trades and service? And it actually goes back to when I was a child, because my father owns his own mechanic business.
Oh.
And, before I knew exactly what I wanted to do when I grew up, I always thought like, oh, I'm going to go into the medical field. I'm going to
Hmm.
be a surgical technician. Like that's what I was going to do, right? That was
Right.
just my thought process. But during the summers from school,
Hmm.
I really didn't have much to do. My dad asked, hey, why don't you come down to the shop? Maybe I can teach you a couple of things, so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
And so when I'd go down there, I would see him and my uncles because it's a family-owned business. They're just running all over the place.
Hmm.
They're going from project to project. They were trying to answer the phones, and it was just a lot for them. And so I found an opportunity of like, can I just answer your phones? Like something that I could actually do
Yes.
instead of picking up like these heavy machineries, right, and
Yeah.
work on
Yeah.
them. So I just started answering the phones for them. And then I would either like take a message, have them call back, go give them the phone, if they're busy or not, check
Yeah.
in with them.
Right.
And by the end of the summer, my dad came up to me and was like, Shelby, like, I don't know how like I'm not sure that you're aware of how much time that you saved me and my brothers while
Yeah.
we were working
Yeah.
just by you answering the phone. Like that made our day so much smoother. It wasn't as chaotic, and we really appreciate that. And of course, me, 11, 12 years old, I'm like, I just answered a phone. I don't know why it's like this big deal. But now, being
Yeah.
with ServiceForge for 7 years, and being able to see how important each and every missed call can be and how much that can cost a company, like it now really resides with me of like how much I actually help my father and his brothers. And so that's what really sparked the passion and made that
Yeah.
true connection of like, this is how I can make an impactful move in business owners' everyday lives.
Awesome. What a great story here. You followed your passion and your passion converted into this. This is really really inspiring, Shelby. And my first segment, like you said, it's gonna be follow up related to the cost of a missed call. So most trades business owners know missed calls are bad, but do they actually know how bad? What does the real cost look like when you add it up?
Oh, yeah. When we normally talk with prospects when they walk in the door, and we're talking price, and they're like, oh, I don't know if that's going to be the best fit because we have custom plans. So we have to really understand their business and we have to understand who's calling, what we're going to be doing.
Right,
And then we think about it like, okay, well, for one call that you've gotten, how much is that technically costing you? How much
right,
is that job potentially? And
right.
so they kind of think about it, and it's a little bit vary, right? but majority of the time it's like between 500 and maybe $1,000
Yeah.
possibly, right? And
Right.
then when they actually say that number out loud and say, okay, but how many calls are actually going to voicemail that you miss?
Yeah.
And it's like maybe 10. That's potentially $10,000 that you're missing out on. Like that is huge for your business and for your reputation, right? Because when you book those jobs, of course, yes, you're getting paid. That's amazing. But
Right.
then that's when you get your referrals in
Exactly.
from other customers. That's when you're going to be getting outstanding reviews because you're
Yeah.
able to get that call, get them right on the books, get out to them as soon as possible, complete the job. Like there's just so much more that goes into it than the price tag, yes, but also your reputation is there as well.
Yeah, reviews. Yeah, great, great. Thanks for sharing. I think if you lose that, call, obviously revenue and reviews, photos, media that you can cover, photos and videos. And on top of that, once you build that, once you serve that customer, you are building that relationship. So you are going to lose referrals as well. So right on. Love that. Love that. Thanks for sharing. And the next segment that we're gonna touch base on is follow-ups. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, 24/7, 365. A lot of trade businesses think after hours coverage is a luxury they can't afford. What would you say to that?
I mean, by the day, if we look at it and say like, okay, but $5 a day can get you 24 hours, 365 after hour, any time.
Yeah.
$5 a day, I think that's pretty valuable, right? And
Yeah.
it's not as
It's
expensive.
costing, sorry, it's costing less than a Starbucks coffee. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It really is. And I think of course it's all about the like the mindset of what we're looking at it for because it does seem expensive. Like, wow, 24-hour coverage. That is a really big dollar sign to us. But when you do have a company like ServiceForge who is here 24/7, like
Right.
we could capture leads for you overnight. We may not get them booked, but then you call them first thing in the morning. And again, that could be like a $5,000 job that we
Right.
helped
Yeah.
screen and get over to you immediately. And now you're off on another job. So I think it's priceless in a lot of different ways, but it's more of like, okay, on a day to day, let's break it down. What is that going to be that I'm going to be losing on? And really, how much is that a day? And again, depending on the plan that you're on, it could be like $5 to $7 a day that they pay to have 24
That's
hour
it.
coverage.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. And it seems like, you are very data driven. So next question, follow-up question is related to data. And so are most emergency calls and booking requests actually coming outside of normal business hours? What does that data tell us?
Yeah, a lot of those emergency calls do come
Okay.
either right at the end of the day, early morning hours. Yes, they do happen during the day, but
Yeah.
from what we see and what we have been able to collect,
Yeah.
it's more towards those hours where no one's open, no one's available. And again is where we come in and we
Right.
are available, we are open. And so it's really during those after hours where we do see a lot of those emergency calls coming in.
A lot of phone calls they come after hours. And I think as as a business owner, even if I'm with my family with kids, yes, obviously we're gonna miss out on those opportunities for sure. So it's better to automate or we have AI answering or service force to take care of that. I think that's definitely a good option. Love that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, thinking about it, if you come home from a long day of work and you open up your door and you actually find that there was a busted pipe in your kitchen, now your kitchen's flooding, and
Right.
you look, it's 7 o'clock, it's 6, 7 o'clock at night. Who's going to be open to come and fix this right now? Right.
Right.
So trying to think about those opportunities, but when they call, they talk with ServiceForge, they're met with a human
Yeah.
person. That
Yeah.
empathy is there, that urgency is there. We build that trust and we can make that a very smooth transition.
Love that. Love that. I'm all about empathy. Our core values at Grow Nearby is one of the core values. The first one is actually empathy. I'm all about that connection in person, human. So I think the next segment is my favorite segment. That why human connection still matters, right? So automation is everywhere right now, and trade businesses are being told to automate everything through AI. Where does that advice go too far, Shelby?
Yeah, I think when it goes too far is when AI is actually taking over the work that you do every single day. AI is there to help enhance the work that you're doing, not take over it. And
Right.
so if you are finding that it's taking over a lot of the pieces of your business, that's where I would maybe rethink. Of course, everyone's going to have their own perception, their own opinion of what that's going to be, but for me personally, if I had AI taking my phone calls,
Mm-hmm.
it won't land in the ways that I want it to. We actually also ran a
Mm-hmm.
customer study with one poll. We asked 1,000 people how they feel about AI answering their calls,
Right.
and we found that 83% of people have requested to always speak with a real person instead of AI. That's huge.
That's huge.
83% of people
83.
want to speak with a real person instead of AI. So right there, it already sticks out to me very clearly that AI is great in a lot of different areas. I use it every day actually to
Mm.
help enhance the work that I'm doing,
Yeah, me
but I
too.
don't let it replace the work that I'm doing.
Hey, real quick, if you're in the home service space and you care about getting more calls, more jobs, and actually growing this year, don't skip this. First up, Broccoli. This one's a game changer. While you're out on a job, asleep, or just missed a call, Broccoli's AI voice agents are answering your phones 24/7, booking jobs, following up on estimates, and even dispatching texts in real time. No more missed leads. No more will call you back. It plugs right into tools like Service Titan, and you can even match the AI voice to your brand. It's basically a full-time receptionist team without the overhead. Check them out at broccoli.com. Next, Grow Nearby. This is where things separate, because getting leads is one thing, but becoming the company everyone remembers, that's a different level. Grow Nearby helps home service businesses dominate their local market with high-end content, paid ads, and real strategy behind it. Not random posting, not guesswork. A system built to consistently bring in qualified leads while building a brand that actually stands out. If you're tired of blending in and ready to become the go-to name in your area, go to grownearby.com and take a look. And of course, grow reviews, because you can be the best. But if nobody sees it, it doesn't matter. Grow Reviews helps you collect real video testimonials from happy customers, the kind that instantly build trust and close deals before you even show up. They make it ridiculously easy to capture and showcase those real customer moments that sell for you. If you want more trust, more credibility, and more book jobs, head to growreviews.com. All right, now let's get back into it.
You and I, we were talking before the podcast, human beings taking care of it 24/7. When a homeowner calls about a broken furnace at 11 p.m., what do they actually need in that moment? Like, can a bot deliver that?
To me, I don't think they can, right? Because well, I'm located in Texas, so the
Yeah.
AC goes out, right? Oh my gosh. It's an emergency. They need someone there right now. So of course, like when they figure it out what's happening, first thing that
Yeah.
they're going to do is maybe they're going to have some choice words that they're going to say out loud, right? And then they're
Right.
they're going to go straight to their phone and they're going to Google the the nearest HVAC company near them that can come out and take a look at it immediately. And the very first one they call, and it's an AI and it's a service, right, of that matter. And they're trying to say, like, just get me to a human. I need to speak with someone. And it's not
Yeah.
capturing the urgency,
Yeah.
the emotion that that caller has. And so, more than likely, they're
Yeah.
probably going to get frustrated. They're going to hang up. They're going to call the very next company on the list, dial
Yeah.
out to them, and it's a human person. You can
Yeah.
hear the smile in their tone when they answer.
Yeah.
And as soon as that caller starts talking, they're going to hear the urgency and the emotion that's in their voice, and they're going to go into straight empathy mode and urgency mode of let me get you to the right
Right
person, let's
person,
get
yeah.
you booked, let me do everything that I can right now for you so we can get that resolved.
Yeah.
So much trust is built within like that first 30 seconds
Right.
that AI just can't do.
Right. I know AI is not there yet that can actually talk like, humans because there is no connection, empathy. Maybe in future, that could be possibility, but no one can beat that, human connection, handling the calls, chats. So I agree on that. Great, great. Now we will dive into ServiceForge, like what ServiceForge actually solves. So
Yeah.
walk us through what a trade business looks like before ServiceForge and what it looks like after. What changes first?
Oh, that's a really great question. And really, I
Thank
think
you.
beforehand, it's a 9 to 5 business.
Right.
And sometimes they can maybe answer late at night, depending on what their team members are, if they have an in-house that is accepting those calls, or sometimes it's the owner
Right.
or, someone really close to the owner that's taking those phone calls. But
Mm-hmm.
over, those after hours, that's where a lot of those messages go to voicemail. And
Yeah.
now the next day, they're either playing phone tag to try and get that person on the line. They're reaching that person's voicemail. Maybe someone does answer and they say, sorry, I moved on.
Right.
And, we're losing those jobs. But once they speak with us here at ServiceForge and we get them all signed up with, our booking platform that can go on their website. So someone can go on in the middle of the night, get booked, and have someone out there first thing in the morning, or
Yeah.
they have a number that they can call and they can reach someone.
Yeah.
Now we're capturing those jobs. We're getting it patched over to them if they want to speak with those emergency phone calls.
Yeah.
Um, and we're getting things booked on their calendar and they're getting paid and they're getting found by people who maybe have never actually heard of their company before. They just got on Google, saw the company, gave them a call, met with us, and they're now making more revenue than they were before.
Love that. Love that. The whole process looks like so smooth without any AI. I know AI is great. I'm pretty sure you have implemented in your product, but with more, I think human touch. Human touch is there. That can actually book appointments on their calendar with the landing page, that booking page that you guys create. That's actually perfect. Love that. What's the most common feedback you hear from business owners, like, after they stop missing calls and start having every customer taken care of?
Oh my gosh, I think the one of the biggest ones that we hear is like life changing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely life changing because not only are we securing those jobs, we're gathering all the leads for them, we are getting the calls over to them, the messages, we alert them by text, all of those things, right?
Right.
But also we're giving time, very, very valuable time, back into their everyday. They deserve to
Yeah.
spend time with their families. They deserve to go on vacations. They
Yeah.
deserve to have uninterrupted holidays and everything. So when I think about life changing and smooth communication and transparency, when we do hear that from our customers, it's
Yeah.
truly all about, coming together as a team and
Yes.
partnering together to make it a really strong relationship and have that trust built to
Yeah.
where they can go do what they need to do if that's vacation. Heck, if
Yeah.
that's just for them to go take a nap real quick, right? And then come back and their business is running just
Smooth.
as smooth as when they
Smoothly.
left. Yeah.
Yeah, love that. Like, this is something like, you're building that relationship, that trust with the home service industry, like, owners and businesses out there, so that they can do what they love the most without, like, just like thinking about that, okay, who's going to take care of the calls or leads coming. So I think that's a big relief, to be very honest. Like, this is
Hmm.
such a great opportunity to tap into. Love that. And one more follow up on that. For a trades owner who is skeptical about handing off their phones to someone outside their team, what do you tell them?
Oh yeah, another great question because we
Thank
do
you.
get met with that a lot, like
Right.
this is my baby. I've grown it from the ground up and like how do I even pass that along? And the great thing is that we are month to month. You're not signed into a contract,
Okay.
anything like that. And
One.
so we do like to have that stepping stone to build that trust, right? So we can start with free booking. We can give examples of like how the calls would flow, what scripts would look like, what the app would look like, so that we can have that full transparency. And
Right.
then they can grow or, more into that live answering.
Right.
And they're in control of when they forward calls as well.
Mm,
So let's say if they just want us to take calls during their lunch break only.
right.
Okay,
Oh,
great. You
okay. That
forward
can
the
be done
line.
there, like from the schedules.
It could be done from their app, or they can call us and say, "Hey, we're forwarding lines over to you,"
Yeah.
and they can switch that over themselves with call forwarding options. So
Oh, wow.
they can switch that on. We can take calls during their lunch, so that way they have again uninterrupted lunch. They deserve to eat in silence,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And they can kind of take those small steps into seeing like, okay, we now have that really strong relationship, and I can see that, we have things going in the right direction. So now I'm gonna hand it over when I'm out of office, and so on and so forth. And some companies have their calls forwarded to us all the time. We
All the
take their
time.
calls full time, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's just about, having great conversations, being transparent, building that trust, and then the rest kind of does itself.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think it reminds me of all the, core values that we have at our company. It's all about like, human connection. We can send out automated marketing reports, but yes, why do we have like client success manager here sitting in Tampa office? Like, why we have weekly, bi-weekly, monthly meetings? I think human connection that builds like trust, and on top of that obviously your product, your whatever service, right, that should deliver as per the expectation. So love that.
Yeah.
We are getting into last segment here, building reliable customer experiences at scale. So ServiceForge works with trade businesses of different sizes, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
awesome. Does the missed call problem look different for a small operator versus a large company?
I think it does look the same in some
Okay.
instances, and then other instances, I think it may look a little bit different because it kind
Okay.
of just depends on what that company is doing. So maybe some of our larger ones,
Mm-hmm.
um, maybe we need like a more dedicated team where we have dedicated agents that are specifically taking their phone calls, that are specifically trained there
Right.
because they need it more honed in and more customized than maybe what a small business is. And
Right.
so when we look at that need from each business, we really take the time to understand where they're coming from, who's calling, what exactly their need is, and we customize it to that individual. But at the end of the day, I think many of the pain points is I'm missing calls. I'm
Yeah.
missing these jobs. I'm not getting booked, and I have my business going, but I don't know how I can extend out
Right.
to make my business bigger. And that's where ServiceForge comes in on many levels.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think there are businesses, let's say, like, we have our client, they are dominating in Ohio, they have multiple locations. So, is there any feature that you can actually handle by location in ServiceForge?
Yes, absolutely. So we actually have our multi-location feature where, let's say that you have five different businesses that you have set up, right? And you have a portal for each one. We can actually make it to where you have a very easy transition from this business to this business to this business, all under one user login.
Oh, but
So
what about like one business with five locations? Same business, five locations.
oh, yeah, absolutely. We have that too. And basically what that is we have like one main account and then
Mm-hmm.
we have little smaller accounts that are connected to that one.
Oh,
So they're
got it.
all intermingled together. So we have an option really kind of for
Both.
both instances.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. That's great. That's great. So, Shelby, please share. Let's say, the home service industry owner, like, they are listening to this podcast right now and they want to learn more about ServiceForge. Like, how can they contact you? What's the easiest way to reach out to you and schedule a demo? We will link everything in the description.
Yes, the easiest way is to go to serviceforge.com, and right at the top there is that option actually to get started for free. And there's also a contact button right there in the corner. They
Okay.
click on that, they put in their information, and we will be in contact with them within minutes. They will be getting a phone call, email, text message from ServiceForge from one of our account executives, and the
Yeah.
rest will be a very smooth, easy process.
Awesome. I can imagine. Like, it's all your humans are there 24/7. I'm pretty sure they will get in touch and take care of, business owners, those who are listening here. But yeah, good stuff. Like, I think we shared a lot here. I think this is going to be really, really helpful. I really want to give a shout out to Broccoli, our sponsor. They are crushing it like with AI, booking appointments, handling, all the calls. And shout out to Grow Reviews. If you haven't started taking video reviews, check out Grow Reviews. Google My Business has started accepting video reviews. So before your competitor does, jump on that. And yeah, thank you for all the support. This is for the listeners. All the support and love for more than 3.5 years. And yeah, this is a journey, beautiful journey, where we invite guests like Shelby. And Shelby, it was nice meeting with you here. Great chat, and we will link everything in the description so that people can learn more about it. And I know we are planning more things in the future to have ServiceForge name out in the market. Yeah, you're
Amazing.
doing great.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure being here. I really appreciate it.
Likewise, you have a wonderful weekend.